Hey friends, I am popping in here really quickly because you guys know I'm no stranger to losing base footage, but I have done something new and I lost the footage to me laying down the spread. So I'm going to pop in here. I'm going to talk you guys through everything. Fortunately, I did not lose the base footage of the spread, just the day-by-day stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to zoom in here. This was the week that I quit my job, so it was a very interesting week, as you can see. So I loved this kit. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the underlay situation right now. It's just, I had it. I'm still mad at myself for still kind of mad at myself for like messing up, Oh, also the air conditioner is going to kick on and off. I'm sorry, it's warm in here. And honestly, it hasn't been running often, but of course the instant that I pull out this camera to film something that I need to speak through, it starts running. So anyways, yeah, I'm still kicking myself for not using this kit for the week of Juneteenth. You guys will see this in my next plane with me of course this will be the next plane with me that you guys see, but I did go ahead. I added this cute little Michelle Obama sticker from Bling Bling Planner, and then of course I got the script made, but let's dive into this. So I'm going to try to talk through everything and talk about where the stickers are from, and yeah, let me grab my notes here really quickly so I can definitely know where everything is from. Okay, so we are ready. So on Monday, the first thing I marked was that it was my Uncle Brad's birthday. The week prior, they had my aunt threw a surprise birthday party for him. I did not go, but I was able to, of course, text him for his birthday. That is from the foil bundle. And then I did quit this day at my hospital. That is from Tiny Little Tulip. I just went in the morning. Oh, hi, Charlie. I went in the morning and just handed in my badge and I had shirts that, we were wearing as our uniforms. I turned those in so somebody could have them because for some reason we had a shortage of shirts. They said they were going to send us 2. I got 1. It was great. And then I did work on my reading journal. I think I did finally finish it this week, so that'll be... You guys are probably getting tired of hearing me talk about working on my reading journal, but that is from the foil bundle. And then I did finish listening to / reading Go Set a Watchman. This is from Chasing Chels. I'm not even sure if she sells those anymore. And then I did also finish listening to Take Down 20, which is the 20th in that Jana Ivanovich series that I was working on, and that is from Leonard Designs. Good girl. On Tuesday, I started reading Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. That's from the foil bundle. I wasn't feeling good, so I did end up taking a nap. That's from the foil bundle as well. And then I did just do some cleaning, and this is from the foil bundle too. In the evening, I worked on my reading journal. So that is from GP Sticker Studio, which unfortunately is closed. And then while I was working on my reading journal, I also had a YouTube binge, and this is from Sassy Apple Studio, who I also recently found out is closed. So I apologize. Moving on to Wednesday, I started listening to Secrets of the Kings, which was an audiobook. Excuse me. Basically, I follow an audiobook narrator on Instagram named Laura Horowitz. And one of the things that's really cool about the Libby app specifically that I use is that you can look up narrators. And so I looked up Laura Horowitz, and that was one of the books that she read. The book was kind of mad, but I enjoyed her reading it. So I also did have a headache on this day, and I was working on my reading journal. So that's from Leonard Designs. That is from the foil bundle, and then this I believe was from Piper Paper Company, but they are unfortunately no longer open. So on Thursday, struggled with some major insomnia. That is from Stickerific, who's also closed. Ran some errands with my mom. These are both from the foil bundle here, and we also did have a coffee run. And then worked on, I think, okay, so we had to go to Bluffton. My parents purchased the house next to us, and so we had to drop off the paperwork at a title company so that they could work up some papers for us so that when we actually bought the house from our neighbor, he could, like, they were, you know, it was a contract basically. And then, you know, official, so it wasn't like, oh, we stole his house or whatever, like we paid for it. Unfortunately, because the way it sounds, it's not a great house, but whatever. So yeah, we went and ran those errands. I think we went and got lunch as well, and then we just got some coffee on the way home. And then I think we also got ice cream too, but I didn't mark that. But I did work on my reading journal when we got home. That is from Piper Paper Company, unfortunately closed. I did finish listening to Secrets of the Kings. It was like a 3-hour audiobook, and I listened to most of my audiobooks on 2, if not 2.5 speed. And that is from Bubble Bear Studios. And then I did have to pay some bills, and that credit card icon is from the Foil Bundle. On Friday, we had to go back to the title company. We won't talk about it, but basically we needed to go back to the title company, so we did that. And then I was just super anxious because I had an interview at 2:00. I talked about this in the next spread, but unfortunately, spoiler alert, I did not get that job. So I was anxious. I thought it went really well, but I don't know. I think I mentioned in the next Plan With Me, but I think I kind of said some stuff that maybe I said one thing that I think was just kind of like a red flag, and it was my fault because like I had what I would consider a right answer for the question, but I don't know. And then anyway, after that we got Dunkin' just because I needed something to cheer me up, I guess. And then I did work on my reading journal. This is from Little Dog Paper Co. I think their shop is closed now. Which kind of sucks. Oh, and the anxious little Mallow, I think his name is Trip, but he is from La La Land Studio. And then yeah, worked on my reading journal. Okay, this desk icon is from Piper Paper Company, who's closed. I think that one's from another shop, or I know it's from another shop, but I think that shop is closed. So really, air conditioner? I swear yesterday I think it kicked on maybe twice. Not that it was cool in here, it didn't kick on. Anyway, I worked on my reading journal. I think I finally finished it, so I used this like really happy girl from Chasing Chelsea, and then I did film. Like I said, I think I finished my reading journal on this day and then filmed the whole flip through the first 6 months. That's from the Foil Bundle. And then I did start listening to Stormfront, which is number 1 in the Harry Dresden series from Jim Butcher. That's from Bubba Bear. And then I had some regular planning time because of course I'd been working on my reading journal all week. I'd been neglecting my planner. That is from Carly Plans, and while I was doing that I had a YouTube binge. That's from the Foil Bundle. And then on Sunday I had to do some printing and cutting. I think I was laying down some bases and doing all of those things. That is from Sweet Tea Plans. And then I did do some filming. This is from Planner Pixie Co. Unfortunately, she does not sell icons anymore. I bought a couple as printables, so I still have them to use. But she unfortunately does not sell those cameras anymore. And then I did do some reading. That is from a shop that is closed. I just wrote closed. I don't know where it's from. It looks like a tiny little tulip is what it looks like. But I don't know. I did make some lemon bars on this day. We had bought some lemons and specifically to make lemon bars. And, you know, here we were a week later, hadn't used the lemons. That is from Stickeroki. She's closed. More planning time. That is from Piper Paper Company, who's closed. And then I did my nails, and that is from the Foil Bundle. So let's zoom y'all out. So there is that beautiful finished spread. Like I said, I'm not super sold on the pink and green situation that I've created here, but it's down. Definitely not my favorite spread, but it could be worse, I suppose. But yeah, so anyways, thank you all so very much for watching, and until I see you next time, bye-bye.